Oh my God,
And
I'm
he
so
used to
glad you
say,
had this
put
pulled up.
yourself in situations where you're not comfortable.
Oh
Play
yeah, that's
outside
my
of your
favorite
comfort
saying.
zone.
That's my favorite saying.
Taylor, you want to follow up? Yeah. So you're holding the autobiography of Malcolm X along with Alex Haley. I don't know how far you are into the book, but what's your biggest takeaway so far?
I kind of just started a couple days ago, but I've read and a lot of notes over the years. This is my first time actually reading this from start to finish.
Reading it from start, I just started.
Just
but...
a very smart man. Very, very smart man.
So just no knowledge at all.
His words in the 60s and what was going on is actually what's going on today still.
Very, very, very smart man. Very smart.
Side note here, if LeBron James knew anything about Malcolm X and he was to say that this is what's still happening today, that would mean that LeBron James believes that the Democrats are using black people as pawns and they should not be trusted, because that's what Malcolm X believed in. One of many things, of course, but that's one of the biggest things that he would say. So
yes.
He's clearly not read this book nor actually watched any of the clips or anything of Malcolm X.
And, how powerful the Negro can be. I use that word a lot. How powerful we are. But we have to unite, and we have to be together. We have to stand strong, because there's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be
he just goes into an answer about nothing.
Things that's going to be thrown at us where they try to weaken us. They try to make us feel like we're not kings and queens.
Oh my God. I watched the whole game. I seen the whole game. I was at home watching the game, and I said he was going to, before the game even started, when I seen I said he was probably going to score 70 tonight. I don't know what made me say that, and my friends was with me, and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, well, he might as well go for 80 now. So
wow, what a
I'm
predictory comment.
That performance was unbelievable.
You lying?
Yeah.
You own 2% of Liverpool. How does that come about?
I read about the franchise and how amazing it is, and I actually made a trip over, to Liverpool as well, and see all the sights and the arena and everything. So it was pretty unique.
Yeah, Crouchy is actually a Liverpool legend. He used to play there. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I knew that. I didn't get an opportunity to see him play when he was with the club, but I definitely knew that.
The current captain, Jordan Henderson, just scored his first goal for England the other day. It was amazing to see. You a fan of his?
No, absolutely. And I saw a clip of that too. I didn't get an opportunity to actually see the game live, but I saw that he was able to score one in the match the other day, and I thought that was
in the match
pretty unique. The fact that he would do that and then also be with Liverpool Football Club.
That's unique.
It is a question.
I just interject there, because since I watch soccer, it's unique that the guy who plays for England, a lot of the English players tend to play for Liverpool. I'm sorry to tell you. It's just, what's the point of lying?
He's just a weirdo, bro.
To the game, but since it has been a lot of publicity yesterday and today about Godfather Part 2, which is the scene or the moment or the phrase or the quote you like more from the movie?
Oh, from The Godfather. It's too many different phrases and too many different lines in that movie to just categorize one.
But which is the one which inspires you, represents you more?
I mean, each movie is 9 hours long. I mean, what do you want me to do?
So you didn't watch it?
I mean, it's so many. I don't know. I'll let you pick one, and I'll roll with it. It's a great trilogy.
When nobody contradicts what you're saying, no matter what, you probably don't know how stupid you sound sometimes.
So, with all that, I'm really glad you had that pulled up, because that was unplanned. I mean, you had planned it. I just mentioned it off the cuff. But is this a guy? Now, we know, I think we can both agree that he's probably not going to be very hands-on if this transaction were to go through. Like, he's not going to be sitting in any board meetings or offices or actually trying to plan out how to, bring this company back from the dead. But even if he were, is a guy who is a known liar I mean, amongst his fans, basically. We're not talking these. Do you think that video was put together by a hard right-wing Trump supporter, DeSantis, conservative guy? No, bro. That's just internet, internet basketball fans and stuff who are constantly calling him out for always lying. So do we think that this guy is going to be good for any media outlet? Maybe, because it's par for the course already. We know that the media is constantly lying to us. So I guess in a weird way, it is an absolutely perfect fit.
Yeah, it's just you can't see LeBron exactly being in the boardroom and making complex decisions on a media company. I mean, he might have ideas as to where it's gonna, what direction he wants it to go in, but like for a media company, on based on what the content they're gonna put out, this will easily get out of hand to the point where people will start putting in their political opinions, and he'll have no idea. Unless it's
And look,
like completely, we are non-political, this is what it's about, then you can't trust people. If there's leeway, if you put some, if they want to put in some social justice stuff, which he'll probably want to do, and that's how it gets out of control. And that's how it gets out of control at Vice. I mean, Vice used to be straight up documentaries about stuff, and then what happened to it? Look at what happens to everybody when there isn't control over it. It goes wild. Look at any outlet.
well, I think, look, I'm gonna maybe defend LeBron a tiny bit here, and kind of like a look, bro. LeBron, the only thing he knows is basketball, right? I don't think he's ever actually had a legitimate thought about any of these positions that he's taken. I don't think he's ever, really looked into. I mean, you can see him lying about the book that he claims to be reading. He
That's not
doesn't
the
know
only time.
anything. No, of course. And then there's one I think where he was even holding it upside down or something crazy like that. Um, but look, he gets his talking points fed to him by, I don't know, maybe it's Maverick Carter, maybe it's I don't know where it comes from, but in a weird way, I don't think he is making he's not making any, not even as far as the complex acquisition is concerned, but anything outside of basketball, he's just fed. Like he doesn't know anything, bro. And I mean, I'm not in a not I'm not trying to insult the guy, but it's like, do you really think that he knows about anything with any sort of depth, even down to the shoes that he makes with Nike? Do you think he's sitting there, he might sit there with one weirdo Nike designer and say like, "Oh, I don't like this color." You know what I mean? Like, the only thing he knows is basketball. And again, I'm not trying to insult the guy. Like, he's obviously one of if not the greatest basketball players ever, and he doesn't need to know anything else. He's just, the rest of it's all pretend. It's all handed to him on a platter. This is what you think about this. This is what you think about that. And I don't think he's not sitting down on the couch reading a book and learning and surfing the internet and understanding about anything. No, he gets his talking points and he just rolls with it. That's it, bro. So he doesn't he and why should he? Right? Just
I
as
think it was
one
months later that he was still like the
on
same
the
book.
first 10 pages.
Yeah, he's just holding it. I remember the upside down book. I'm just not being able to find it. Here's just another thing of
Yeah, that might have been Photoshop. That might have been, I mean, he can't be that dumb, right? Like, to actually hold it upside down. So that could
nobody
have been.
knows. Is this the same book over and over again?
No, no, Hunger Games, Malcolm X, but he never made it past the first
It's
5 or
always
10
the first
pages.
few pages.
Yeah, yeah. So, and look, and even these photos, somebody probably told him, like, go out there holding this book. You know what I mean? Nothing he's done outside of play basketball has been authentically him. I mean, I don't see it. Like,
Why
do
would
you
a
really?
grown man... Go ahead.
No, I mean, do you think he sits down and thinks about anything maybe his family, but
You
he's not
know,
eyeball deep in any of these issues like me and you are. He doesn't know anything about anything.
well, first of all, why would a grown man read Hunger Games? Is question number one.
Because somebody told him to.
But I don't think LeBron James
Told him
thinks
to
that much
pretend
about
to.
basketball either, Eric. He was 6'8", 200 something pounds out of high school. He plays a power game, and the only improvement he's ever made to his game was shooting long distance. And that was what made
Which
him such a
he
good
had to
player.
do because of Steph Curry.
Well, he was a few years before Steph Curry, but his first year he couldn't shoot long range at all, and then he had to change. And it's not like he's this mastermind. He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Larry Bird. He's not Steve Nash. He's not He can't do his complex thing in the air as other dunkers like Vince Carter of his time, Jason Richardson, all these other guys who've come and gone. You don't see him make really fancy passes. I think this athleticism comes naturally to him. He's very, very good, of course. I could never do this. So neither could anyone other than like 5 other people in the world. But I don't think he's just this smart guy. And there's been plenty of players in sports that are not that smart guy. Linebackers in football, they're probably way smarter. I mean, they have to remember plays and everything. I'm just saying that, like, you're saying all he thinks about basketball. I bet you he doesn't just think about basketball. I bet you he thinks about how great he is and how cool he is. And he also talks a lot about how hard it is being black.
Turn it up, Jordan.